Everybody, welcome to episode 1 of the Judean Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Hess, CEO and founder of Judean Football, here with our two amazing guests, Binyamin Kashnow and David Arking with us. How you guys doing?
Wow, doing great.
Doing
Never
great,
been
Jason.
better.
Where you guys at right now?
I'm in my dad's office in the conference room. I got my remote to mess around with the camera. So I'm cooler than everybody.
I'm in my dorm in Chispin.
Nice.
Actually, I won't show my messy room.
Where's Chispin? I bet half your viewers don't even know where that's located.
Yeah, it's up north. It's like to the right of the Kinneret.
To the right of the Kinneret. So you just wanted to be really close to your heritage, as close as you can.
Exactly. Close to
Yeah,
Syria.
exactly.
I'm like 5 kilometers from the border.
Exactly. I know. It's you get your
Walking
binoculars and you might be able to find your ancestors' homes. All right, guys. Well, welcome back. You guys came back from your trip to Italy, represented the U19 Israel national team with great pride. It was an amazing game. There were incredible highlights. You guys definitely represented the country and all of us in an extremely proud way. And we're super excited for all the work that you put in, what you're able to do, and the outcome. Even though we fell short, the goal wasn't. It's not always to win, but it's to give the proper representation of what Israel is, Team Israel. And you guys really showed a lot of class and played with a lot of really good energy and represented us extremely well. So that being said, I want to deep dive a little bit into your experiences with the national team. So why don't you walk us through the experience, from practices to the flights to your pregame, to the flights back, like and then give the audience the entire picture of what it's like being able to play for Team Israel.
So basically, we had her like around 3 practices a week for 6 weeks before the flight, and it was pretty hard because it often fall like in the middle of the week, like a Wednesday or something, or a Monday, which is hard to get to. But overall, like practices were really fun. They were tough though. 3-hour practices, running, conditioning, contact, sometimes not contact. And then the overall experience was just great time. It was great meeting new people, all these people from around the country who also play football for teams that didn't really get to play.
What was the post game, the flight back? We all knew what happened, during the game. Pre-game, I saw a picture up with guys davening with tefillin. That was awesome, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was Shachris, right?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I love seeing pictures like that. It really shows where we are as people and what our values are and where they stand amongst everything going on. Unfortunately, it didn't go our way. What was the pregame routine to the game and the flight back?
So like in the morning, we woke up early. We had a minyan. We got a lot of not religious guys also who came, put on tefillin, prayed with us. It was a great experience. And then we took a bus to the field. We got there like 3 hours early, 3.5 hours early. We ate, like they brought us tuna sandwiches, tuna and lox. Which I don't know if that's so good before a game to be eating.
It doesn't get any more Jewish than that.
Yeah.
And maybe
No, it was fun. Then we walked on the field a bit. We had warm-ups, treatment if anybody needed it, and then game time.
Amazing. What was the post game flight back? What was that like?
Yeah, so
Walk
after
us
the
through
game
the
was,
locker room.
yeah. So like right when the game ended, like everybody was like sad, I guess. I don't know. Some people were crying, like it's very emotional after the game. It's also because everybody's parents, like not everybody, but a lot of parents were there, aunts, uncles, everything. It was just like emotional after the game. After like on the bus ride back, like people started raising their spirits or whatever. Played music. I don't know. We had a debriefing each position group. There were jokes, laughs, and yeah, and like brought everybody back to like realizing it's not the end of the world that we lost.
So Cash, why don't you tell us, for those that don't know, I think the whole entire league knows that everyone calls him Cash, but in case you don't know, and you still call him Binyamin Cash now, he is, everyone calls him Cash, which his name was adopted as...
on my hoodie they wrote Cash. I put in Binyamin Kashnow and my hoodie says Cash, but whatever. It's okay.
So why don't you walk us through your experience, again, the practices, you were at minimal practices, the flight, pre-game, and the flight back.
Okay, so my experience was completely different than David's because David was there for like He was prepared. He was ready for this. He knew he was going to this. I got a message from you, Jason, 3 weeks before the flight. I was like, there's a game? I was like, I'll play. I had no idea the game was in Italy. I was like, we're playing in Italy. I was playing against Italy. Fine. I'll go to Kraft and we'll play the game. And then you're like, oh yeah, the game's in Italy. I was like, this year? That's in 2 weeks. This year? Like this, I was like, wow. I think he was going crazy. He was like, for the team. I'm going to book for the team. Oh, he heard that we have to pay. He's like, whatever. But yeah, the practices were great. Bunch of guys, working hard, grinding, ready to represent their team. Slowly, whenever the game was getting closer and closer, you could see the excitement. You could see the people taking it a lot more seriously. The coaches was also like it was a hard experience because right after war, coaches are all none of them are getting paid. They're all coming leaving their jobs early to come to play with us. So you'll have coaches that will make it, coaches that won't make it, and you don't know. Like there's coaches I didn't even know were coaching because that I came like with 2 weeks left and they didn't make any things. There was coaches like Aryav, which he has his wedding fell out on his wedding was on the day of the game and he didn't make it. So that was very interesting. So it was crazy. It was like moving everywhere, but at the same time, there was so much heart. So it all like kind of like fell into place. So that was the whole pregame experience.
Which is
And then
kind
you
of
have,
funny that
like-
you actually mentioned that because a lot of the similarities, and you'll see this soon, is when you get drafted one day, you're going to see that the Army pretty much works the same way. It's completely mavulgan, but everyone's heart is in the right place and everyone's there for the same mission. But at the end of the day, it works.
And then you have like slowly, like gradually, like you felt it like being more real. Like the week before, we had like the Shabbat icon, the first practice, and then we got like shirts, and then the next practice we got the gear, and then the next practice we got like the hoodies, and then we were just off to the airport, and everyone was there, and it was like everything happened so fast. We were on the plane, we were going to play the game, and we were missing players. We had Kamer, who was supposed to fly, and his commander didn't let him, and we're missing him on the line, which was a big loss. And apparently there was like 8 stars that were supposed to fly with us that didn't make it. That's what I was told. So it was a crazy, like whoever made it, it was like so like a mush and everyone just went. But then we made it. We landed, took a bus down to the hotel or whatever you want to call it. It was like shacks. It was cool. It was interesting. Then Shabbos, we had nice Kabbalah Shabbos with a bunch of guys, some religious, some not religious. I had the meals. We had private care, food was delicious, by the way. And then we started getting ready for the game. We went to the game, got there early, like David said. There's a lot of hype in the locker room, so much yelling and so much excitement. Before the game, we left early the locker room, so we were like in the tunnel for like 10, 20 minutes. Everyone was like singing and dancing and singing Jewish songs, Israeli songs, whatever songs anyone even knew, just making it all crazy, like the Bnei Akiva style. And then we ran on the field. We went on the field and we went crazy. It was amazing. When there was, I remember the highlight for me was standing there. We're both lined up, both teams facing each other. And then Tikva starts playing. And like everything stops and you realize like where you're at, and it's like so like emotional, uplifting. Like I teared up. I don't know, but I teared up. It was amazing.
Just kind of resonating with what you said, and I played for the national team, the Israel national team, the first team that flew out to Spain in the first ever tournament, similar to how you guys did for the U19. You guys were the first group to ever fly out to go represent Team Israel abroad. We did the same back in 2015 when we beat Team Spain again, and this was post-Army, and I've seen a lot and done a lot, and I have a lot of memories from the Army, but there's always that one memory when we flew out to play in Spain on our sideline where they had written on tape, it said Palestine on our sideline, and we're standing there with our hand over our hearts and listening to Tikva play. That was just the most emotional thing one of the most emotional things I've ever experienced, which is something that I always tell people, is that you don't know what it's like. Like you should go play because you don't know what it's like the second you hear Hatikva playing and you're there in Team Israel gear representing your country. The only other time times that I felt like emotions like that is probably when you're in the army on Yom HaZikaron. Yom Ha'atzmaut, Yom HaZikaron, Yom Ha'atzmaut, and Yom HaShoah. Yom HaZikaron, Yom Ha'atzmaut's kind of one day, but add in Yom HaShoah. And those are like the most emotional moments you get as a soldier. But outside of that, it's very hard to find as such an emotional point in your life where you could represent your country so in such a greater fashion than through sports and football and what we do. So that being said, why don't you take me to both of your two favorite, your favorite moments, experiences? You could just jump in. You don't have to go organized, but what are your two favorite moments that stood out to you?
First of all, the Hatikva was the big, huge highlight. So that was amazing. And then my second highlight was towards the end of the game, the fourth quarter. I had like a nice TFL and hit a nice celebration. That was amazing. It's an amazing feeling. But they took it out of the stream of the full game. It's not even in the full game stream. They cut it out. And so it's my tackle, and then it cuts out to mispronouncing my name. They'll call me the Kashnow Binyamin Banish. And like, it'll cut out to that. Just completely skips my celebration. And there's no pictures of it, no nothing. I was so pissed. But it's fine. I didn't even make the highlight. The regular tackle didn't even make the highlights, but whatever. It's fine. I'm used to not being on social media.
Your whole team was behind you. We all commented on the group, and we were going off. We were excited. That was great.
That happens.
Arking, what about you?
Yeah, I think like Cash said, in the tunnel before the game, we're all singing like "V'Hashem Yitvarach Tamid Ohev Oti." That was a great moment. It was very emotional. Very I felt like part of my nation. Like fighting for something.
100%. Did you have another moment? Maybe a low light?
Low light. I had a couple low lights.
You know what we're all thinking.
Yeah, I know that wide open pick six.
Why don't you share that experience? Share that experience, because you're running with my helmet. You didn't have the gloves, but we were hoping you would. You told me that you're going to get a touchdown for me. You told me that. And when we saw you return that ball, I'm standing there in the heart of Moreshet Modi'in, where I live, and there's all these Israelis, and everyone's like Beitar crazy over here. And I'm celebrating, cheering, and people are like, Beitar isn't playing. What are you doing? And I'm just going nuts, and I'm yelling. I'm calling my wife. I'm like, Arking scored a touchdown, full field pick six.
Also, that was 100% a Rebels. That was 100% fully Rebels touchdown, because besides for Arking's beautiful pick, what happened? It's supposed to be a running back bubble, and he kept on doing this bubble. And finally, this time I finally got, after yelling at the coaches to give me permission, I was able to peel.
You peeled.
So
Awesome.
I peeled with the running back. The quarterback's like, just chucks it up in the air. I see Arking catch it. I'm like, yes. And I block whoever I can, and he goes all the way. Everyone's going crazy. And then
Arking, walk us through that.
So basically, the receiver, we were playing, it was man coverage, and the receiver I was lined up against, he ran a slant, but he sort of like stopped, like he ran it and then like slowed down, because I guess he thought it was going to be, like Cash said, like a quick toss to the running back, and then he's just supposed to block me. So he like stopped and then like continued going, but like slow. So I was just like behind him. I don't know. There's the quarterback just threw up the ball. It was like high up in the air. It was too high for the receiver. I think he like tipped it. I was behind him. I like caught it like that. And I saw like a huge hole on the left side of the field, like huge. The receiver wasn't even looking at me on the left side. I sprint through there. The quarterback tries tackling me, but he goes high and like for the ball, like just bounces off me. I don't know. I kept going. I'm like sprinting down the sideline, and I hear behind, like once I got to like the 40-yard line, I think I'm like free, I'm like looking, I don't really see anybody. So I like thinking to start slowing down, and then I hear Nate Freed behind me. He's a receiver from the Kfirim, and he's like yelling like, David, go faster. He's right behind you. David, quick. So I like put in some more juice, get to the end zone. I'm right behind me when I got to the end zone. It's a surreal experience. And like, I didn't even know how to celebrate. Like, just like jumped up, people jumping into me, smacking my helmet.
They should get us celebration coaching in the orders.
They really should. I need that.
And Judean football, how to do a backflip, how to do the kayak.
Right.
I don't know. We should get like coaching.
That would have been.
Doesn't
kayak?
Doesn't the guy on the Kfirim, Mikey?
Yeah, Mikey hit a backflip.
He hits the flips, right?
Hit the flips.
Shout out. Shout
Shout
out.
out.
And
Shout out
I know
Mikey.
this is Judean football and we're talking about other teams and but credit where credit's due. I think Mikey balled out, usually plays quarterback, played receiver. Honestly, I think we all saw the receivers were cooking their DBs. I think their linebackers in Italy were phenomenal. I think they have a lot of strength overall, their team. They're very in shape. You could see that right off the bat, but they could not keep up with our receivers. But it is really hard. You're flying out to your first game, especially as a quarterback. You're not really training with these guys day in, day out. You had a bunch of weeks going. So it's hard to connect. Sometimes, Arbella has an amazing arm. Like that, the guy's a cannon. We're watching that. We're just like, dang, he just got to connect, But he had his moments. He was able to connect. He had some moments where, overthrew guys. But, we were cooking. All the boys were cooking on offense. All the receivers, everyone was getting it going. So you shared your two favorite moments, both of you from the experiences. And I want to kind of dive into something a little bit different. So we're talking about other players now. So it's a good segue into who are your top 3 non-Judean players?
Should I start?
Yeah, give shout outs.
I shout out Shia Smilowitz. That guy's a baller. Like all game, he had a nice pick, nice interception at one point in the game, and like the whole game was just locking up the receiver. Like nothing was flying there. Yeah, shout out Shia. Also,
Kai Malou played him on the Warriors. He's a beast. Huge. He's insane. He was balling out. Also, he was thrown out on the line instead of usually plays linebacker, about a line with us. So yeah, he was we were like together, cleaning up the edges. So that was amazing.
Nice. Yeah, it was a good little throwback for you guys and your experiences and everything that he built up while he was with the Warriors. So shout out Kai Milou. Great work. That was awesome and made us proud as well. Part of the Judean organization, or once upon a time, part of the Judean organization. Way to go. Arking, give us a second guy.
second guy.
Yeah.
Probably my cousin Raymond Chavit.
Shout out Ray.
Raymond Chavit. He's a very smart guy. He knows always where he needs to be. He's a beast too. He's very strong. And he plays through injury. He got hurt at one point in the game, came back, just an overall great guy.
Nice. And you got a third guy you want to shout out?
Third guy, I already shouted him out, Nate Freed, but I'll say it again. Just throughout the whole trip, just getting to know him also. He's a great guy, great person, and he's just a beast. Like he played at receiver, and then at one point, like he came in, played corner on the opposite side of me, and that guy, he had a pick too. He was just
beautiful pick. It was a beautiful
insane.
pick.
The Freed family is a great one to be around. Both personality wise, their attitude, how much they love their mom. I know that. And they're just straight up mensches. They're amazing. Noam played on our team for a year. It was amazing getting to know Noam. And just amazing family. And yes, usually when you have a team of athletes, it's always going to be the younger sibling who's going to be a beast. So Noam's always going to say, man, Ami's awesome, but watch out for Nate. Nate he's going to be the best of all of us. Everyone's going to say that, and Ami's going to say the same thing. He's going to vouch for his other brothers. They're just an awesome family. So yeah, shout out Freed family from top to bottom. You guys are awesome. Cash, why don't you give us two more players that you really enjoyed being around or playing with?
I have a double shout out. 2 guys that for the same thing. I'm not so good with the names. I know one of them is Boaz, but I don't remember the other kid's name. I think he plays in Kaduri, right? Or whatever team he plays for. Those 2 guys that we got that like a day or two before the game. Omer's name is? Omer. Yeah. A few guys, a few days before the game, they were told that they're too young to play. So they couldn't play, but they still flew out with us. And they were there. They were 100% like the team. There was no disappointment and anger in the air, which was amazing. And then when the game came, they were there on the sideline, and we were missing. We didn't have any water boys. We didn't have anyone. We don't need a water boy, but it makes it a lot easier as a player if there's someone coming out to give you the water.
Mikey.
So exactly, Mikey. So I talked to him. I was like, I know you guys are here 100%. Just like me, you're paying just like me. You're as much as a player as me, but it would really make a huge difference to the game if you would take this upon yourself to help us with water. So instead of standing there, instead of enjoying the game to the fullest like they could have because they deserved it, they took action and they were working around, running around with bottles and working hard. So I think they deserve a huge shout out because It's a huge deal for the players.
Do we have names?
Boaz and Omer.
Boaz and Omer.
I remember their last names.
They're how old?
They're 16.
In 10th grade.
Amazing.
Also,
Can you
just their
imagine that
attitude
experience being a
overall.
16-year-old in that situation? Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
Just their attitude overall. Like, they were just like great sports about the whole thing. Like, not complaining, nothing. Like, they were bummed out, of course, but like, they weren't angry or anything.
That's awesome. Who did you feel is just like an overlooked player? Somebody who you feel like should have been out there a little bit more?
Yeah. Effie Nair, he plays running back for the Flames, running back and corner. So he got in a bunch of the game, but like not as much as I think he should have got. He's a great player. I remember I played with him last year. He was a corner and he was like afraid of contact, kind of.
And he
there's a
plays running
picture-
back?
What? No. He played corner last year.
I'm saying, and this year he plays running back.
So he made a big switch. There's a picture actually of last year of him getting like stiff armed by Cash. It's a hilarious picture. But yeah, he made a
Send me the
huge.
pic. Send me the pic.
What? What'd you say?
Send me the pic.
I will. He made a huge step up this year. Like it's crazy. Like I went to some Flames games at the start of the year, and like I just see him like running straight into people as a running back. I'm like, who is this guy, and where was he last year? Like he's just insane. And also he's like super fast too. Like he's a great player.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cash, what about you? You weren't there too long, so you don't know too many of the guys. They kind of just threw you into the fire.
All I know is that there was one guy, Boaz Klein, absolute animal on the some Silverbacks.
That guy's a monster.
Touchdown. He had a beautiful touchdown. He was the beautiful run to the end zone.
Yeah. Shout out Boaz Klein. Also,
Yeah.
Boaz, I hope you bought your left guard, I think it was, who set the edge on the DT for that run. I want to give a huge shout out to that guard. Probably getting no credit over there, but I hope you bought him a nice burger because he set that edge for you to make it to the end zone. But Boaz, that was awesome. That was a sick run. We were going crazy for you. Yeah, hell yeah. That was great.
He was going crazy on offense, but I remember playing in my last year playing offense against him playing defense. I wish he would have played some linebacker for us. I feel like he could have eaten some people up. If he played some more linebacker. I remember after the game, he was like, "Should put me in." I was gonna eat them up. So that was crazy. And as a dude, he's absolutely an amazing person. He's so fun to be around. Yeah.
So I think there was a defining moment during that game. Well, there was a few. You guys were first down 14-0 in the game. Came back, you had 3 scores that were unanswered. So you took a 21-14 lead. I think it was 21-14 going into the half. Was funny enough because everyone always jokes around about the Rebels not punting or, onside kicking. And why do we do that? Because teams don't know, because we didn't always have the time to be able to prepare, especially like last year, even though we did do it. When we punted, we've given up maybe a quarter of the time was a score for the other team, right? Whenever we punted. Just because punts are very hard. You really need a lot of time to practice it. You need a lot of practice time set aside to run through special teams. You need to do full practices for special teams. Now, you guys are practicing 3 times a week, and you have so much to work on, right? And Coach Kohyu isn't there. So, and it's like all of a sudden you're thrown in, and you guys, your first punt was returned for a score. What do you guys remember? Cash, I think you were on the punt team. What happened on that play?
Basically, we punted, and they returned a touchdown. And it was like I wasn't happy with the whole punt scheme, like the whole people that were on the punt, personnel on the punt. We didn't do any practices when it comes to actually making a tackle on punting. We were practicing punting, but we didn't actually practice making a tackle. It was kind of like a given, I guess. So it kind of came back to bite us. But yeah, they punted it. It got outside of us. I didn't pursue. Like I was like, I didn't click in my head. I was like, I'm just a lineman. Totally forgot to turn that switch on to go chase the guy out until it was too late. And this guy is on the sideline, and I'm like trying to make the play, and I completely messed it up. I thought too much. I was like, yeah, it's just a punt. It gets itself done. It tackles itself, but that's not the truth. You have to make the play. Someone's got to do it, and if you don't do it, it's not going to happen. I learned that the next plays that I ran downfield and I tried making a tackle.
And if you watch Team Italy, you could see how they're all in. Like they've practiced punt return and punt a lot because you could see how organized they look. Proper blocking scheme. They know where they're going. They know what edge they're going. They know how they're setting it. You could see that everyone's very much in sync, and it requires a lot of practice. That's why special teams is very, very hard. You have to really put in a lot of time dedicated special for that to really be successful. What about you, Arking? Why don't you tell us, like, what do you think you could have done better, or the team could have done a little bit better that might have helped us secure for the win? We lost. It was a score. It was tough, but we all felt like you should have iced it on that play.
Yeah.
Mistakes happen. Shout out to obviously it's hard. If anybody gets called, that gets that flag thrown on them, everyone's crying. Like whoever, like I don't remember who did that, but don't be shy, bro. We all love you. You still represented the country. You're awesome. Like amazing work, and happens. Don't let it affect how you're gonna play in the future. Like you're a dog. You're a dog.
Yeah. I think I could have personally done a better job at hauling in catches. Like I had a couple plays where I could have easily gotten a pick, maybe returned it again for another touchdown.
Like 5 picks you could have gotten.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So like there's one play. Basically what happened was we were playing our cover 2 and I was at corner. So I see the guy run a corner, or no, maybe it was, I think he ran a fly behind me and then somebody ran out. So I followed the fly and then I started dropping back on the out, but I saw the quarterback lob up the ball. So I kind of got stuck in my movements. Like I tried going back and I tried jumping up for the ball. It was right in between my hands. I don't know if you can see, but right like this. And I just dropped it. I tried turning it, after I dropped it, I tried catching it off the rebound, over the shoulder. Didn't work. So that was one bad play. I could have done better. Another play was in the end zone, in our end zone. It was third down, and they were on the 20-yard line, I think. Basically, again, I think it was another cover 2 that we were playing. So I was shallow, but I saw the quarterback throw out the ball, and I felt the receiver behind me. So I jump up, and I felt a couple hands on the ball, and I just ripped it down, kind of make sure nobody catches it, and then I turn around, and it went me, and then a receiver, and then my teammate Lachman behind me, and then behind him was the receiver. So if I didn't rip it out, Lachman would have gotten the pick in the end zone also, which would have been a touchback. So yeah, another mistake, just miscommunication between us. I should have known he was there. But yeah, can't really focus on the past. You got to focus on the future.
That's right.
These are stuff that you happen when you're not mold. There's no mold. Teams are built by stars that mold into a team together. So we had a lot of stars, but it was very individual. We didn't mold in together, which kind of hurt us. We needed more time to kind of form a team together.
I think it says a lot about our team that we only had 6 weeks of preparation against Team Italy. I don't know how much they had.
20 years, bro.
20 years running this team.
Well, not this team. They weren't born, but
program,
the whole
national team
is 20 years old.
Yeah. I think it says a lot about us that we got that close to, we should have won, that close to beating them.
That's right. I think they know it as well.
I was talking to way back on the flight back. I got to sit between Shai and what's her name? What's the other ref? What's her name?
Shalechet.
And Shalechet. Between Shai and Shalechet. I got to sit middle seat between Shai and Shalechet. So I got to schmooze with them, how it was from their perspective. So Shalechet was telling me the first half, they were so confused. She was looking at this. She was on their sideline. She was the ref on their sideline, and she was they were so confused. They didn't know what was going on. They were lost. Everything was just so confusing for them. Then the second half, they came back like a completely different team. They really got taken care of in the halftime, which I felt like our halftime was a little weak. Our halftime was a little weak. Could have been a little better. It was a little weak. It was a little too overhyped. Let's get in the moment. I remember back when I played in the Warriors, we played Emek Hefer. We absolutely destroyed them. I think it was 50 to something. It was we had 5 consecutive scores, and I was it was halftime, not even, and I was kicker. and I had guys smiling, and I was like, I don't let smiles. I don't let smiles. Back in the Warriors, I didn't let any smiles during the game. There's no smiling. There's no being happy. You have a job to do. You finish the job. You do it to perfection. I'm currently winning 70. I want to win 77. You got to do your job. So that's kind of also me, myself. Like, I felt like I wasn't locked in either. I was just there for the experience. I had to be more zoned in, more ready to hunt, less there to have a fun time. So that kind of, that vibe was a little off for me. Also, we were missing warrior players. We're missing warriors. Back in the Warriors weren't necessarily the best team, but we had insane tackling. Tackling was our specialty. We would barely miss any tackles, and we would perfect technique. We laid people out. And here we were missing. Tackling was miserable. I was not happy with the secondary and the tackling. We did a terrible job.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not judging anyone. We had
yeah.
5 weeks to prepare, but still.
It's also part
Yeah.
of the experience is when you're traveling abroad, you have to have a different kind of toughness. So when you're playing against kids your age, or for me, it was, again, I take it back to Spain because that's how I can resonate with you guys the most. When we played against Spain, if you watch the game, they kept trying to throw bubble screens on me because I was just I'm short and stocky and I play corner. So they assumed, okay, his corner, we're going to keep attacking their corners and seeing, putting our biggest guy, our biggest running back on a bubble and getting them. And I kept taking him down to the ground because you just got to be like, F it, balls to the wall. I'm going at him. Like, it's either me or him, and it ain't going to be me, right? So you have to be able to be ready for that. But I completely understand that, when you're playing in a game like that against Italy and you see these guys and you see like, damn, they're good. You hear the hype. You hear that. You see that they're very strong and they're much bigger than you guys overall, right? From top to bottom.
I went against 71, 6'8" or 6'9", 400 pounds.
That's exactly.
He hunts all day. It was crazy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And all of a sudden, you're asking a corner. Even Arking, I'm criticizing his tackling for him. He's like, "Look at this tackle. Was it good?" I'm like, your head was down. You didn't want to see that. You didn't want to see what you were hitting. You got to see right through, and you just got to go right at it, right? And it's hard because you see these guys, and they're so big, and it's like psychologically you have to prepare. But it's just because it was your first game. Once it comes to your second game, you're like, wait a minute, I already did this before. I know what this is like. And then you start getting more comfortable, right? And then the tackling starts getting better. And it just comes with more repetition, right? It's the first time you guys ever went. You had to go play against a 400-pounder. I saw you, Kashnow. Some of the times you were getting slowed down or gassed because you keep fighting through this big dude, right? And you got a motor for days. But like, everyone's human, right? And they're hugging you and they're holding you and you're just trying to fight off all the holds. So like, yeah, you got to give some, there are missed tackles, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
But a lot of it is just discipline, a little bit of a lack of discipline on the defensive side when it comes specifically to that. Guys getting juked out, not understanding your leverages, etc. Right? Where your help is on the field. Arking did a great job, at least even if his head was down and the tackling wasn't like huge, he was securing the tackles and he was setting the edge and letting his help come clean up. That's all you got to ask for as a corner, right? Nothing more. Make sure the guy goes back into the field. But yeah.
Another thing is we're taught back. I was always taught in football is if you're doing stupid, do stupid. Like if you're doing the wrong play, do it right. Like David Arking, no matter what he's doing, even if I'm like, what are you even doing? He's fully in there. His head might be down, but he's backflipping, tackling people. He's going flying everywhere, but he's doing it right. He's doing it as much as he can to the best of his abilities. So it was amazing. It's good to see.
Was there anybody there that you felt deserved to be on the field a little bit more than the opportunity they were given?
There was a lot of guys. It's hard. There's so many guys and there's so much time you could put them on.
Do you feel like there was somebody that maybe could have impacted the game a little bit more at a certain moment, throughout the, while you were there? Because you have, like you said, you have a lot of guys, right? And you need all the help you can get, right? It's all hands on deck. Is there anyone that you could kind of say, I think maybe he would have? Obviously, the coaches know what they're doing at the end of the day, right? So
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Nobody comes to mind?
Not necessarily. I mean, Roy Nalul would have been a nice slingshot. I just liked playing against him. He's got a nice arm. It's fun to see him throw the ball. They kind of threw him in when we're like in the end zone. It's 4th and 30, and he's like, maybe he'll be able to save the day, which I kind of see why. He's a very good player, but like I feel like if they give him maybe a better opportunity, it would have a huge impact on the game. At the end of the day, there's only one quarterback, and you can't take out the quarterback because it's the way it works. It's a rhythm. Like even Michael, it took him. If we were losing 14-0, it took him some time, and then he like got in the zone three consecutive touchdowns. Like,
Yep.
But and so like you can't take quarterback out, which is annoying. Like there's only one quarterback, and you have so much talent, and there's only one guy that could do the job. It's annoying.
Yeah. And even Roy, shout out to Roy, being thrown into the fire like that in a tight game, taking a shot the way he did. He got hammered. Like that was a helmet to the ribs. That was not an easy shot to take.
Yeah, no, he's completely like popped the rib or something. I was talking to him after the game. He's taking it like a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a G. What a G.
But it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. I feel like when he's quarterback, the O-line stops blocking. It's very weird. Like it's the same guys. How come when it's Mikey, he has so much more time?
Stirring the pot a little bit over there. Why don't we move into I'm curious, give me your top 2 coaches that you loved playing for. Who was there that you're just like, this is awesome. I love being inside them. Or one. Could be any coach.
I'll do one offense, one defense. For offense, shout out Coach Shy.
Yeah.
Shy Hellman, baby.
Such a nice guy. Like I never knew him before this whole campaign. And like just being able to get to know the guy, like he's a great person. He helped out. He came to all our Binyamin.
Even gave it to Arturo.
Yeah, he gave it to Arturo before the game. It's like in the locker room before the game, just like hyping everybody up with a nice Dvartora. It was
Sheesh.
great. Yeah. And then for defense, I know Coach Orr. He's just also like a great guy. He knows his stuff. And also I never met him before this whole thing. Like, it's great to get to know him.
Yeah, they've got their 4-2-5 defense on lockdown, or their 4-2-5 4-4 scheme on lockdown between what the Wolves got going on and the Pioneers, and when they started in, they do a great job. They're extremely disciplined, and or Coach or shout out, he was with me in Spain as well. Or Shalom, we go way back. I go way back with all these guys in the league. I know everybody. Everybody knows me. Love these boys, and I'm so happy that these names are still around because it's so much fun when I get to bring them up, especially when you guys get to hear of them. Cash, what about you? You got 2?
So first of all, he took my guys, so I'll have to go with other guys.
Give more shout outs.
I'll give more shout outs. First of all, the one and only, the biggest legend in probably Israeli football in every single league and every single type of footballer is Donnie Eastman. Absolute dog, crazy person to play with. I personally got to sack him once. That's like my best accomplishment ever in football. It's like I was at one practice and they were asking me, what was your best sack this season? Whenever I was like, Donnie, of course. After that sack, he made me look stupid 20 times. But that sack is on film, and I got it, and that's it. That's all I need for the rest of my life. So that was a crazy experience. And we got one more guy.
It's like you got the dunk on Shaq.
Exactly. I don't care. He's Shaq. He's allowed to dunk on me.
Exactly. But you got him once. That's all you needed. It's on film. Yeah,
it's like playing defense. You just got to beat the O-lineman once, and you're a superstar.
I'll give a shout out. I'll give a shout out to Donnie Eastman, former Rebel and Judean Football. Former Raven, 100%. He'll like that. The Orly Print Ravens. Former Raven, moved into the Rebels. We won a few championships with him. Playing with Donnie is incredible. It's just funny to me when you guys, when everyone looks at Donnie today and says, how honored it is to play against him and how much he stayed in shape. But it's just funny because every time I see him, it's just like, Donnie, you look like a one step slower, because I've played with him when he was 23, 20, 22, 23. Like, you guys don't understand how good he was. Like, he had the speed. The speed was there and the jukes. Like, these days, it's like, if you could play discipline enough, you'll get him. But back in the day, it didn't matter what you did. And if you watch that Spain game, again, on film, you're going to watch him scramble like crazy, do his thing, throw a ball. He's going to it was just incredible being able to play alongside him. But yeah, shout out Coach Eastman. Well, that's your dad. But shout out Donnie. Proud of everything that you've done for our organization, and love how you've developed and grown into an absolute legend and one of the, maybe the first official AFI or IFL Hall of Famer. Do you have anyone else?
Well, I guess give a shout out to Coach Neria, just because what he was able to do with our defensive line when we didn't have so many personnel. We had linemen, O-linemen playing D-line, and we were still kicking tuchus out there. We were beating them up on the line. They were 3 times our size, and we were still getting in the backfield. So shout out to Neria.
Neria Busi, baby, another legend. Love hearing these names. Love playing against them. Love seeing them on the field still, even though oftentimes I'm just like, why are you still here? And he'll say the same thing. He's like, I don't know, but I'm here. Here we are again. It's like the song. So that's a great segue into, your transition from high school football to adult. So both of you played in the high school league last year. You moved to the Rebels this year. You played against grown men, essentially, right? Do you feel that playing in the IFL, in the adult league, do you feel like that helped you going into this game?
I think it helped, honestly. Like, the people in the IFL are much bigger, I guess, bigger, and like they hit harder than in the high school league. So I guess that like prepared me for going up against like a stronger opponent, like bigger, stronger receivers, made me better at like tackling or just taking a hit.
Nice. And what about you, Cash? You went against some really big boys.
Yeah, no. So for me, it was definitely a little bit of a help because back in high school, you give them a little love tap on the heel, they go flying. You give a little like I have way too many tackles where it's just this to their legs. No, totally, you're not doing that. You do this, your hand's gone. You'll step on it, and you're bleeding for a week. So that was definitely the team Italy. They were tough to bring down. They were not easy to bring down. They're tough players. So playing against grown men helped that.
So do you feel that more of the U19 team or more of these high school players who debate between going back to high school and the adult, but have the aspiration of playing for the U19 national team, do you feel that for their personal growth, they would be better off moving to the IFL or staying an extra year in the high school, possibly dominating? Like, what do you think would be better maybe for their confidence or for their prep when they're also going to play for the U19 team?
I think, of course, they should move up. Like, if they want to stay back another year, win a championship, like, feel free to. Like, I'm not knocking on that, but I think if they want to grow as a player, and really like take it to the next level, they should move on to the adult league.
I want to say move up. Really, the best years of my life, the best football, best culture of football is still in the high school. The IFL is still missing the hype, the culture, the heart. There's a bunch of talent and there's a lot of guys, but everyone's like, football's like secondary. Everyone's like, busy with their jobs, and then they also play football. In high school, everyone is just doing football. Football, it's like that's all they live. Like in high school, we live football, so it's kind of like such a more wholesome experience.
To all the parents who are tuning in, we absolutely do not allow our players to skip.
I did in 10 minutes and I still play tackle football.
There's a standard of education that our organization holds by, and we will sit a player if we feel that they're not up to the educational standard that they are supposed to be, whether it is secular or religious studies.
We had a D lineman not play because we were losing. A sad game because his Rosh Hashiva didn't let us play, and the coaches decided that that's more important than winning the game, which is true, but sad because I wasn't the guy and we needed him. But yeah.
So, in terms of just your overall development moving into the adult league, what do you think? Pinpoint to something that maybe you got more out of in the adult league than the high school league that maybe helped prep you for this game a little better.
Yeah, like what I said before, like bigger hitters, bigger people.
Do you feel the coaching was a little different? Do you feel that the attitude is a little different? Like what else? Like maturity,
yeah, the attitude
mindset?
For sure. It's like in the high school league, it's more like goofing off, kind of. Like in practices, like nobody really takes it that seriously. Like
I mean,
still
we got
fun.
Jack on the Rebels. I don't know what you're saying about the high school game. Yeah, I hear you saying. We got some goofing off on the Rebels. I was like, I joined that group chat, and I'm like, get me off of this. The police is coming to my house.
Specific people that I'm not gonna name drop on that chat.
Exactly.
No, but no, it's still fun in the still a lot of fun in the practices, but there's a lot more like focus on getting better.
Where?
On the Rebels, like in the adult league.
Yeah. When you play for my defense, I don't I don't mess around.
One thing this game gave me is I'm super hyped for next year. Like this year, like I was like half playing yeshiva, you know. This year, like I start working out already. I'm like back in the gym. Did my first leg workout in forever. Back to trying to fix my shoulders, fix my hamstring, and really dominate next year with my brother. It's gonna be a surreal experience, hopefully.
So I'm curious. You played against the U19 team Italy. If they played in the adult league today with the Rebels and the Hammers and all these boys, do you think that team would? How do you think they would stack up against the rest of the league in terms of just the talent, who you went up against, how it felt, etc.? Do you think they would sit at the top?
They would not sit at the top. Absolutely not. But they might win a game or two against Beersheva, maybe Haifa. But I doubt they're doing anything better than that.
I think they'd be like top three team,
Really?
top 4 team. No, because they got good players. They got a good team. Like you have to think, we barely lost to them. Also, we're all like all-star players, I guess you could say. And so are they. Like, so if they came and joined the league, they'd be a good team. They'd win some games. So I don't think they'd win the championship.
They are big and strong, but there's a difference between man strength and high school level strength at the end of the day that you can't, a 30-year-old's strength is going to be very different than an 18, 19-year-old's strength, right? Bones are, physically, bones are way more developed. You're a lot heavier, it's a different ball game. Which is why I asked, because I'm curious, just like talent-wise, where they would stack up if they played. So we're getting close to wrapping everything up. I want to know what it means to be a Rebel for you guys, your favorite Rebel moment, and your welcome to the league moment. Okay, so we'll start with, what did it feel like? What does it mean to you guys to be a Judean Rebel?
Being a Rebel's means family. I really feel like a second family to me. Like really, all the guys are great. They're very funny people on this team. And no, also just the organization paying for part of the trip. Like never heard of that before. It's just how do you say it? Like above and beyond what should be anything that an organization does for its players. And my highlight of the season as a Rebel is probably my pick 6 against Haifa. That was great. That was like 50-yard return. Nobody even close. Just like I had like 4 blockers next to me. No one close to me. Just get into the end zone, just celebrating. A full like minute of celebrations. It was great. And picked it off.
Shout out Josh Leventhal, who's not exactly a quarterback. He's really a wide receiver, but playing quarterback. Shout out to Haifa. Love you boys. Matt Kaufman. Love him also. Former teammate of mine on the national team years and years ago. Awesome. That's great. What was your welcome to the league moment?
Welcome to the league moment.
Everyone has it.
Yeah.
Could be in practice, could be on the game.
Opening kickoff in the first game. I just got laid out. Like I was on kickoff. I'm running up. This guy just full on hits. Like I went flying backwards. Yeah. I got back up. I don't know. And then the next play, I got a pick. So
Shachar Adi, just because he's a dog on the Pioneers. I was from Haifa. Shachar Adi. I also go, whatever, way back with him, his brothers.
He was the one who laid me out. That was him.
I think so. I think it was him. I think I remember being like, "Dang, got him. He's a dog. He's a dog." That's awesome. I love it. Yeah. Then you had the pick. That was great.
Yeah.
Cash, what about you? You've been with the Judean organization since you're a warrior. You always talk about your days and how amazing it was and how meaningful it was. This was your first year with the Rebels. Curious to hear like what it means for you. You also got to play with your brother, which is really, really unique. Your favorite Rebel moment, and give me a welcome to the league moment.
Okay. So to be a Rebel, it's now you're the older brother, but it's a little hard now. We don't have a high school team. You're not the older brother because there's no little brother, which hopefully
it's gonna be there next year.
That's going to change because it's hard to have a solid team if you don't have a high school of the guys that you're thinking. It's hard to get guys at age in 19 to just suddenly know how to play football at a high level. It doesn't come by itself. My first year, I was playing O-line, like probably almost every other good player in this league, because if you're big, you're playing O-line for the first year. So that's definitely an amazing experience to be in the Rebels. Finally get to play with my brother, which is amazing. But yeah, my best, as much as I like tackling Eastman, my best moment, if not moments, were a few sandwich sacks with my brother, which were amazing. Those were really fun. My welcome to the to the league moment, it's probably like the first game, David, first game against the Pioneers, where I made it to the backfield and I'm like ready to tackle the quarterback and I hit him and he just doesn't budge. I'm like, what? He's just like, I like fall down and like I have to like kind of like wrap him around and like kind of get him down. Took me like 3 business days to get him to the floor. He was like standing there and I'm almost like holding his legs. He's just looking who to throw the ball to. And I feel so stupid. And like, I'm like, what, you have to like actually hit them for them to go down? That's so weird. So yeah, so that was because I'm used to being like a big guy and just hitting them slightly and they go flying. So it was definitely really crazy.
Yeah, and watching you and your brother really was super eye opening for everybody. It was such a sight to see, and it helped me at least get the coin the name sack nows, where we get the sack nows in there. So if you guys are in the league and it's 3rd and long or 4th and long or 4th down and whatever, not runnable distance, you could expect both caches to be out there. The sack nows. That's sack now time. All right, so we're gonna wrap everything up. I really, really appreciate you guys both being on this pod. Episode 1 of the Judean Football Pod is something extremely special, and it's something that we're gonna continue doing. And getting the organization to be able to pay for trips, and we have a lot of philanthropy that we're gonna be doing on the side that we're going to be raising money for. We have a lot of different funds that we're going to be raising in terms of fundraising and for different areas. And, I'm super excited to detail a little bit more. Maybe we'll get into that later on, still finalizing a lot of different things. But representing Israel is the direction that we want to go. And anybody who's trying to play for Team Israel, and you can't always rely on the AFI or IFL to be able to get things done for you. They do so much for us. They get a lot done. Shout out to Ehud, and Adam. Anyway, incredibly, incredibly honored to have you guys here. We have a lot going on. Anybody who wants to play for the national team, we're going to be there to help sponsor your trip and make it come to life. And, we don't want money to stand in your way of living out your dreams and playing football in Israel. But last thing before we get out, tell us what you got going on today. Tell us your plans in the future and anything else you want to share. Cash, start with you.
Today, I'm going back to yeshiva. So yeah, I'm spending the day right now. All I got as priorities is yeshiva and working out, getting ready for the next season. And I'm like, I want to play with an elite team. I want to start have some serious guys where we work hard, we work out, we're strong, we know what we're doing, and we can take the league by surprise. So I'm ready to any guy I see to start yelling at them to join the rebels. I don't care if you don't know what football is. I'll teach you the rules and just start hitting people. I saw Jonathan from Rebels. Shout out Jonathan at the gym. He's now a coach at Fit and Power. He's a madman there. So I saw him. Like every big guy you see, bring him to the team. I don't care. Bring him to the team.
It's David Arking. Tell us, what do you have going on today? What are your plans for the future? And share anything else about yourself that you'd like the audience to know.
Today, also, not much. Like, just gonna go to the yeshiva for a bit. Like, plans for the future, trying to win a championship next year with the Rebels. Get some good players. Trying to recruit some people. Get some friends to join.
We have practices on Mosash, so we make it extremely easy for anybody who's in the Army to come by whenever they can. And we always cater to anybody who's in the Army. And we don't look at anybody who's in the Army as, well, you're a second-class citizen because you don't show up to practice. No, you're doing something much greater. And if you're a better player and you're still showing up whenever you can, we're still going to treat you as if you've been at every single practice. Now, the other downside is other people are going to get better in practices that you're not there. So you have to understand that your roles aren't guaranteed, but we're not going to look at you guys any different, especially if you're drafting. We encourage that. I encourage that. If you can't represent your country, football is a great second way to do that when you represent your country. So proud of you guys. Cash, Arkin, thanks for joining us on the pod. Really appreciate your time. Good luck in yeshiva. Good luck in your future endeavors. And one love from Judean Football Nation. Take care, guys.